Raider Nation, man, what is the deal? What is going on and what is happening? And you are here for a very special episode of the Raider Rundown, man. And today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be talking about the draft, touching on a little bit of some recent Raider news, but really we're going to be giving the spotlight to some players that are from a certain school that we done picked a real good player from already, just to give a little more perspective on some more players that we could talk about in this draft, man. To help me, I got the homie in the background, man. My homie Raider Trey gonna talk some of that Georgia football, but without a further ado, let's go ahead, let's play that funky music, and let's get into the show. What is the deal? What is going on and what is happening, man? Like I said, you are here for a very special episode of the Raider Rundown. We are broadcasting this live, but this is a pre-recorded episode. But regardless of it, make sure y'all are hitting those like buttons, hitting the subscribe buttons, tapping in with my guy Raider Trey over here on X-Man, as you can go ahead and see some of his opinions and all that in between, man. But without further ado, like I said, man, I got the homie in the building. My guy Raider Trey, man. What's the deal with you, big dog? How you feeling?
Man, you already know, Rundown, what to do, bro. What's going on, man? Glad to be here. Go Dogs, you know, for the episode.
Of course, man. Yes, sir, man. I had you on the show a couple times, bro. I knew you was a Georgia fan, and there's a couple of guys from the squad, right? From your squad that are in this draft where, you know, they're not really getting a lot of not a talk from Raider Nation, right? Like we not really giving them too much love. We focused on a number of players, and we're gonna get to that, but definitely wanted to pull that spotlight out, man. But before we get into that, we got some recent news, and of course, it wouldn't be no show if we didn't talk about some of the recent shit. But we got Geno Smith, right? As of yesterday, been a crazy ass 18 whatever hours we done finally got. I feel like a competent quarterback, right? Like where it's like, all right, we're steady. But how you feel, bro? Give me your opinion. You know, there's mixed emotion. How you feel on this?
Man, I'm actually good with this. Like you said, bro, I feel like we finally got us one that's not another Gardner Minshew, or not another Jimmy Garoppolo. Like we know this quarterback can make pretty much every throw on the field. Like we've seen him win, we've seen him do his thing, you know, and with the pieces we got, and with Pete Carroll, like he's had his best years. I mean, we've been seeing it all week. I mean, not all week, but for the past couple of days on ESPN, where they've been talking about his averages are so much higher. Well, not so much higher, but are higher enough where I can deal with it with Pete Carroll. And, you know, you put him with Chip Kelly, man, I think we got something. And at least, we didn't want to get nobody I mean, I would have loved to have Stafford, but we didn't need nobody that was like going to be like a bona fide starter and they were going to start for the next 2 or 3 years for sure. At least with Geno, if we draft a quarterback, you won't feel as bad with kind of like moving him beside, you know, and letting the other quarterback start.
100%, bro. Like I'm with you 1,000% on how you feeling, because for me, it's like if I'm looking, you can look at the stats from last year, and some of it is misleading because he had 15 interceptions, but a lot of it, when I look around, like football people like Mina Kimes, you feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of respected NFL people, you look at how they're tweeting, they're like, dog, he had to deal with immense amount of pressure when he was with Seattle, and still 70% completion percentage, 4,200 yards. You feel what I'm saying? Now, am I saying we getting a bona fide top 5 quarterback? No. But what I do think is if things are how I feel like they will be aligned, bro, you're getting somebody that's at least going to give you about that 4,200 range, around that 25-30 touchdown range, bro. When the last time we done had something like that? That's all my question is to people, bro.
It's been a long time. We got somebody that can get the ball to Trey Tucker.
There we go.
You know, teams have not worried about us throwing the ball deep, you know, for the past few years, bro. And now they have to worry about that. And it's going to open up the 100%. Offense so much more.
So, of course, you know, since you were a Georgia guy and this is sort of a Georgia spotlight show, of course, we turn to the superstar, right? Former Georgia Bulldog Brock Bowers. All right. How you feel like this move will mesh and impact him as well going in there? You feel like this is going to upgrade him? This is going to help him out?
Oh, yeah. It's going to help him out for sure. It's also going to help out Geno, because as we can see last year, we had 3 quarterbacks throwing the ball to Brock Bowers, and he still was the best tight end in the NFL. So 100%. It's going to help out Geno, and it's going to help out Brock, because once again, like I said, the field is going to be spread so much now because Geno can make those throws. So now Brock is really going to get used how he should have been getting used like last year. You know, you're
underneath. You feel what I'm saying? All that shit down below, breaking tackles, how he did it, Georgia. I know exactly how you on. I know exactly what you on.
If you get him in the open field and it's him one-on-one with a safety or a linebacker, you can call it touchdown, because they're not going to catch it.
It's a fucking wrap. It's a wrap. And that's, you know, and we're about to go into it, bro. But like a multitude of possibilities, right? It's a multitude of possibilities. And of course, we're going to get into the draft. But of course, before we get into what we kind of do at the number 6 pick, and I forgot to say this before we did that, you know, we got free agency next week.
Yeah.
Right. Man. So free agency. And obviously we know, like, it technically, right, is Monday. You feel me? But they probably talking right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They probably already on it, having their discussions, bro. Now, is there anybody that you have your eyes on right now that we got Geno? Anybody that you got your eyes on in free agency that we can say, all right, bro, this meshes well?
Definitely the D tackle from Washington that just got let go.
Oh, bro.
Definitely got my eyes on him. And Bradbury. I wouldn't be mad at bringing Bradbury back and putting him back with PG, where he had his best years was with PG.
Right.
You know,
Veteran presence, you saying?
Yeah. Brent, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at Bradbury. Really, man, because these running backs like Najee, I wouldn't be mad if Najee came out there. I wouldn't be mad if Najee came out there and we drafted some running backs, you know, to be a 1-2 punch with him. Really in free agency, man, that's and bringing back Merrick, you know, bring back Merrick and bring back Spillane.
Right.
You know,
okay.
If we can bring back those two, I'm good. I'm good in free agency right there.
Yeah, see, for me, bro, I feel like that'd be me. I like Spillane's a no-brainer for me. You know, we go back and forth with my guy Severe's. You know, he said he don't want to pay Spillane no 10. I feel like I don't care about that. I give Spillane 10. That's fine with me. You know, of course, I'm looking at guys, you know, I want to upgrade my linebacker room. That's sort of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like Dre Greenlaw. Feel what I'm saying? What is he commanding? What does he want? But honestly, bro, like for me, I'm going all in on the rebuild mode on the offensive side, bro. I want Chris Godwin. Like I've been preaching this shit for like a minute, dog. And you know, you be on the show and shit, bro. Like I've been saying this shit for a minute. Like I want Chris Godwin like a motherfucker because honestly, like I get we need a number one, but if we're gonna treat this shit like, all right, bro, Brock, you're one of one, you're the number one, dog. Like we gonna Travis Kelce you basically. You feel what I'm saying? Where the offense flows through you. Chris Godwin and Jacoby Myers are perfect complementary pieces if that's what you're going to say, right? Yeah. Like if you're going to be like, all right, bro, the offense flows through 89, we run the ball, and complementary pieces who we need to be steady on the outside, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers, we got our deep threat with Trey Tucker to complement 89. To me, bro, I feel like that meshes, like honestly.
That works, and you can interchange those two.
Oh, bro, easy. Slot, X, don't matter, bro. They can all do whatever they want to do. There's nobody you can game plan for because honestly, even Brock, you can put Brock in the slot, put Brock at the X. There's literally nothing you can game plan for because you can literally line them up anywhere on the field, dog.
Everywhere, yeah. That would be legit.
That offense, dog. Now you know that offense. I really want to overhaul it, you know, but we still talking. I want to do some shit with the defense too, but mainly it's our own guys that we got to re-sign on our defensive side. Yeah. That's for me. Maybe a couple pieces here and there, but I feel like, you know, definitely we got to re-sign our own guys. So you said Merrick. That's who you're looking at.
Merrick, and I just had one in my mind just now outside of Merrick. I'm gonna come back to that, but I know Merrick and Spillane for sure. Merrick is okay. Sure.
And this is why I bring this up because once we start talking about the Georgia players, that's when all this talk is going to start being prevalent, right? Because of course, one players that we just talked about, and we talking about our own free agency, the shit start lining up, right? The dots are starting to align. So you start to say, okay, Trayvon Merrick, you put that priority on that. Now, if he don't come back, we got somebody we're going to talk about. But another big one, Kuntz, right? What's your thought process? What is your thought process on Malcolm Kuntz? Because me, I think Chase on deadlock. Easy money. You don't have to do too much thought process on that, dog. Like you get him cheap, bring him back. Kuntz, on the other hand, is the discussion. Where are you at on that?
Man, but I want to bring him back. I think we need to bring him back. But it's the number. It's the number. Because, you know, does he take a team-friendly number just because you're coming off an injury? Or do we let him test the waters because he's coming off the injury? I really want to bring him back and to have that compliment to Maxx on the other side. And Maxx rocks with him the way that he does. Like, Maxx has belief in him. Like, he talks about him all the time. So that's a connection right there that I think that we want to keep around. But like I said, bro, it's got to be for the right number. You know?
Yeah, gotta be for the right number, bro. It's got like, cause, and I love it at 10. If you say 10, sure, right? 10 to 12, we can stomach that. But once we start getting to the 15, 20 ranges, it's like, what are we saying here? Like, what are we doing? What are we even paying for at this point? Because I understand how good I think he can be, right? But it's like, bro, it's 8 games that I've seen. Like, we're really, like, because honestly, let's get out of it. We are basing the money off the 8 games that we did see 2 years ago, dog. Like, that's really what we're basing it off of. So, I don't know if 20 mil is up there, especially if I got guys who just maybe like Josh Sweat and all that want that same amount of money.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, bro, like I don't know if I can do that, in my opinion. I want to keep our guys, bro, but that's where the draft. We got some guys in the draft we about to talk about. So it's like, do we need to do that? That is the question. Do we need to do that?
You brought up a good name with the Josh Sweat, because other teams free agency and stuff is going to come into playing a part in our free agency, because does Philly bring them back?
Right.
Do they like the Milton? Was it Milton Williams? Do they like him more?
I heard he testing. I heard they trying to get him back. They want to get Milton back,
because it's going to be one or the other with them paying ball.
100%.
So a lot of teams 100%. Are going to have cap casualties. That we can pick on too. So that's going to be a ball. When that ball starts to roll, man, we going to really, like you said, we're going to see some shit start to line up.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Should start hearing something by tonight, by tomorrow. Because it opens technically, but that's when motherfuckers gonna already announce the deal before the deal is already ready and shit like that. You know how it go. So we'll see, and that's gonna shape what our next topic is, which is where we going at 6, bro. Like where we go at 6, right? Like that's gonna shape that next topic. And so now this is when we start getting into the Georgia spotlight, right? Like how are we gonna start talking about maybe where do we go now before we start getting into specifics. The Ashton Jeanty conversation. Where are you at on the Ashton Jeanty conversation?
Man. So, like, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it at 6 because of what he is. But, I mean, there's so many other running backs, man, that we could get something that can really benefit the defensive side or the offensive line with having that number 6 pick. Now, Jeanty is a once-in-a-lifetime running back, as we can see that we've seen in the season this year. But did he have too many carries?
That's my thing, bro. That's my thing.
He was that whole team.
Yeah.
So that's the big part. So, like, when people talk about when we drafted Josh Jacobs in the first round, Josh Jacobs was running back by committee in Alabama, and they had 50 of them.
100%.
So he wasn't so banged up. So, man, I mean, you got the doctors and all that, so they can do their lookups and see how his body is, man, and see if there's any like flags or anything like that. But if we did it, I wouldn't be mad.
For me, right? For me, I sit at the simple fact of saying, like, I like Ashton Jeanty. I do, right? But for a person that I would say like is a running back connoisseur, I love him. But then it's like, dog, I swear I look at some of these other dudes and I'm like, how can I not say they won't be good pros? You feel me? Like I and that's not saying like, oh, it's whatever, but like, check this out. Like, say if I draft, what's the difference between if Ashton Jeanty goes somewhere and gives somebody like 1,100 yards and somebody else that I drafted in the 3rd round give me 12? It's different because it's a different name. Like, who cares? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it all depends on what the deal is for me. Like, it's like, because John Spytek, bro, like, for example, I say this all the time, bro. John Spytek drafted Bucky Irving last year in the 4th round, and he was the 10th leading rusher in the NFL last year. So, if that don't tell you what is needed, bro, like, you don't have to do that. In my opinion, I'm like, and this is another guy I want to talk about. This is where we start getting into the spotlight. Right. This is where we start getting into the spotlight. And I know he wasn't on your list, but I'm going to talk about it right now because this is where my mind goes. I like Judkins, right? Because he's already been with Chip and all that. And I just think Judkins is going to be the better of the two as far as a 3-down back. I just feel that. But if I get a guy like Trevor Etienne in the later rounds to match up with Judkins, I like that, bro. I like that. I mean, tell us a little bit about Trevor, bro. What does he bring to the table? You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's a little, it's a poor choice, but like we ain't had this type of dude since like Jalen Richard. Give us this type of explosion. Give us this type of quick change. You feel what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about that.
Man, we had Trevor 1 year, but also seen him in Florida too. Trevor has great vision. Trevor has great speed. Trevor can press the line, get linebackers to pull up and bounce it. Trevor, now, because of his smaller stature, as far as blocking, he gets ran over a lot. But he'll stand in there and take the hit, though. He'll stand in there and take the hit. But his speed, his vision, and it's like once he finds a hole, he's gone. So he's what Zamir White would be if Zamir White had vision.
See, and what happened with that? Like, what's the deal with Zamir, bro? Like, I'm confused why he's so inefficient at all of a sudden last year. Is there anything that you saw where you were like, this ain't like the regular Zamir that I know, or you're like, it's a little on brand?
That's the same.
Really?
He was just he played behind that Georgia offensive line where the holes were this big, pause, and he was running through them, and he didn't have to have that vision because he still had a lot of those problems at Georgia. He did, but he was having like home. I mean, like when we brought him in, the first year, when Antonio Pierce was the interim head coach, and it was holes being opened up for him. But you would also see he was still running into the back of people. But when they opened up holes for him, he was able to get through them. That's why I feel like, I mean, he's way bigger than Trevor Etienne, but Etienne runs like powerful and strong. He's not going down on one hit. He's not going down on one hit. Linebackers and stuff, like he's going to take that first hit and keep going.
Yeah. And I like what he did at the Senior Bowl too. And that's when he really because of course you was talking about him a little bit sometimes, and I watched him. Of course, I was watching Georgia games and trying to check out Carson Beckett sometimes and shit. But him seeing him at the Senior Bowl, he was running some routes against linebackers. I'm like, oh shit, okay, quick feet, knows how to run some routes, get open. That's a guy I'd like to select in the later rounds and say, all right, bro, I got me a Judkins, I got me a Caleb Johnson, and pair this dude with that. Now we got variety. Now our fucking running back room, we can do anything we want in this room. Like, that's what we didn't have last year. And that's why I'm like, bro, we got to change that shit. That's why I draft two. For me, personally.
Oh, yeah, out the gate, for sure. And I might even try to get one in free agency.
Oh, yeah. See, Najee is off for me. I'm not doing Najee. I can't. I just, like, personally, because, I always got to stand by my word. If I'm on this motherfucking podcast, I'm always going to remember what I said. I personally didn't want to pay Josh at the time, right? So for me personally, I don't feel like Najee even comes close to the talent of Josh Jacobs. I don't.
No, that's fair.
So then at that point, you feel me? Like, why would I pay a lesser tier running back that same amount of bread? It just don't make no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion, I don't think Najee's all that good.
He's not, man. And even though he does get his 1,000 yards, but like I seen you post that on Twitter the other day. Oh, was you saying it on the show where like 1,000 yards is only like 67 yards a game?
Yeah, no, I said it on Twitter, bro, because like it's real deal, bro. Again, bro, when you really watch these running backs, I get it. 1,000 yards used to be the metric. That used to be the shit. But we got 17 games. You feel what I'm saying? So now I average that bitch out, bro. That's 65 yards a game. That's nothing. I get Zamir White to give me 65 yards a fucking game if I need to. If the offensive line was cool enough, he'd give me 65 yards a game. But we talking about like once you start getting to the 15s in plus territory, like he's getting 1,500 yards and plus, that's how you know he's real. You know what I'm saying? That's how you like, all right, these motherfuckers, Derrick Henry, Saquon, Josh, all these other extra dudes. You're like, all right, yeah, these motherfuckers is getting it in. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see about that. I just hope now with the Geno money, I don't know if they're gonna pay Najee that shit if it's on me.
Nah, I don't think so. I think you still go. I think you go fully draft with the running backs.
Yeah.
And
so getting into it
with the Trevor Etienne thing, real quick, bro.
No, go ahead.
He's one of those running backs, bro, where like he can like be, swap him out, have a running back by committee thing. But he's one of those ones that'll get going though. He'll get going, and you gotta keep feeding him, and he's going, eventually he's gonna pop a 50-yarder, and nobody's gonna catch him.
But that's why I'm like, bro, we get that dude in the third, that pounder. You feel what I'm saying? Like that Caleb Johnson from Iowa, like pause, but you feel what I'm saying? Where he's killing you motherfuckers for 4 quarters, bro. And then we put him in. Now all of a sudden we got that pop. Quick change, bro. You ain't gonna be able to fuck with that easy, bro. That's what I really want from the running back room. But if we stand on the Georgia spotlight, right, we going in, and that's why we're gonna bring it all to a nice little bow, right? Yeah. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. we're not wrapping it up, but we're getting close to the end. So make sure you guys go ahead. But final segment, we talking about now everything we talked about up until this point, culmination, right? So we're getting into free agency, re-signing our own guys, and maybe we don't get a chance to do that, right? Maybe we don't get a chance to get Merrick back. Maybe we don't get a chance to get Kuntz back. If so, now that Geno Smith is here, you know, the quarterback conversation can keep us here for another hour. But let's keep it on the fucking the defensive side, right? Or just on the non-quarterback side. If all quarterbacks are gone, I've entertained the thought of trading back. I've entertained the thought of getting more picks, acquiring more players. Now, say if we lose Kuntz, there are two guys on your squad that you can highlight for us that I think are welcome replacements, in my opinion. I mean, the first one we can talk about for sure, where I'm like, bro, if you don't know this dude, do the homework. This motherfucker right here, bro. I get him. He'd be able to play next to Spillane, be able to get on the D line. That motherfucker be able to do whatever he wants. I feel like he's better as an edge rusher, though. But you let me know. How you feel about Jalen Walker, bro. What can he bring to the table if we were to trade back? Maybe select him or target him.
Man, he can bring anger. He plays angry, man. 38 solo, 6.5 sacks last year, led the team in sacks, man. He is a monster off the edge. And like I was telling you, my comp to him is definitely Micah because they move him everywhere. They put him over the guard. They set him back at linebacker. They put him on the line. His hands in the ground like he's all over the place. My only thing with him is he does not have any pass rush moves yet. It's straight like, I'm stronger than you, I'm faster than you, and I'm going to beat you that way. I'm going to run through your chest. I'm going to run around you, you know, and you're not going to stop me. Once he develops pass rush moves, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a true problem. But the way you can use him is the reason that you draft him in the first round, because he can go everywhere. He does have a little bit of coverage in him. He can check a little bit. But as far as his eyes in the backfield, he does not get fooled. When you run zone reads and all these fakes and all that, his eyes, he plays with his principles. He does what he's supposed to do. He will wait until the play comes to him and then make the play. Like, it's no fooling him when he's back at linebacker, he's on the line, no matter where you got him at. And as far as, like, him creating pressure, like, he knows how to find those gaps. He knows when he runs those stunts, he knows how to pick up field going upfield. He's not just coming wide he's gaining straight upfield and coming straight for the quarterback. And then if they try to run, he's fast enough to catch him.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I saw that a couple of times too, even watching, you know, some of the games they played, how they use him as a spy at times. And I'm like, see, this is what we can do. If you select him already, he's chasing 15 around the field, bro. Like that's some of the plan already, bro. You get him, he's chasing Mahomes. So I like that for sure, because you get him, that's a guy you kind of Swiss Army knife with, right? And of course, we know PG loves that versatility from his players. So obviously we can get a guy like that where we can put anywhere. He's a problem. He's going to be a fucking problem. Another guy that we can use as kind of a Kuntz replacement, if you so to speak, Michael, right? You brought up Michael. Long dude, rangy dude, pause. But this motherfucker has it. Like, we talk about max wingspan. This is another dude with the wingspan, right? And we talked about goddamn Tyree Wilson's and shit too. But this dude comes in with a more polished skill set, in my opinion. I mean, but how do you feel about Michael?
Michael is, like you said, he's a more polished Trayvon Wilson. I mean, Wilson. He's a more polished Wilson. So, who he reminds me of course, came from Georgia. Another Walker, Trayvon Walker. The one that went to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yes, but what Michael Williams will do will set the edge. He will set the edge. You're not getting around him on the edge, especially with those long arms and his strength and his pass rush ability. Like, he has a couple more moves that you would see from him than you would see from Jalen Walker. You know, but he plays more primarily hand in the dirt, you know. But they also move him to the inside. And that's when they have Jalen Walker on the outside and put both of them beside each other. So you can imagine what offensive line was going through with that. And he also had the moves on the inside. You'll see him set up a spin move all game. and then get it and get home. Like, he was the one that was causing problems in that Texas game. And he was going up against a first-round tackle.
Banks, yeah, he was going up against Banks. Yeah,
and you would just see him. He was standing him up. And that's why Texas couldn't run on us like that. They couldn't run on us like that. He was setting that edge. And that was the reason Jalen Walker was playing linebacker, because Smile Munden was hurt. And so that's, but him and McCall, man, whew. Now him and Maxx, that would kind of be like a younger Chandler Jones.
See, okay. And that's what was the vision, because you got the length. You got somebody that has that pass rush move on the other side. See, and when Chandler, this is the thing, bro, and it's always sucked, but when when we saw that little glimpse, that flash, we were like, oh shit, like, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, they're about to be a fucking problem, because you can see it, bro. Teams can't just one-on-one Maxx the whole game. And if you got a guy that's pushing on the other side, it's an issue. So, I mean, I know that was the vision with Tyree Wilson and shit. So we'll see what happens with that. But another guy, it still looks like we have a hole. We got a hole there that we gotta fill, bro. And so I like Mike Hill. I really fuck with Mike Hill. Pivoting to another position on the defense where it's a pivotal free agent, right? And we talked about it again. Trayvon Merrick. We talked about Trayvon Merrick, and we said, all right, well, we'd like to bring him back, but then you know how this shit goes. Sometimes you can't bring back who you want to. If he does get gone, not a lot of people are talking about what we would have to do as far as that. Don't have to look in the draft for that. Now, you got some guys. I know some guys have brought him up, but he's become a boring name in the draft circulation just because I feel like he's so safe. And that's Malachi Starks, right? I feel like he's become so safe to the point where, like, you talk about, it's almost boring. It's like, what type of prospect it is. Like, you feel me? Like, it's not too much I need to do. Now I know he wasn't happy with his 40 time at the combine, but I mean, I'm watching the tape, bro. I really don't give a fuck about his 40 time. Like, dude's ranked, so I really don't care. But you let me know. Let us know, man. Malachi Starks, if we were to lose Trayvon, if that was the target, what are we looking at? What are we getting?
You getting a rangy safety, man. You getting a rangy safety that can come up and lay the boom. And I remember specifically watching one play where him and Smile Munden, they tackled a running back on the outside. When they stood up, they looked the same size beside each other. That tells you how big he is. Like, Malachi has the speed. Malachi has the vision. The only thing that would worry me with Malachi, and Trayvon's kind of the same way, is his coverage. Like, he can play in the box. He can come up. He can blitz like crazy. And he has an eye for the ball. Now, that's the thing that will separate him from Trayvon, is he has an eye for the ball.
That's my thing.
And I don't know if you remember the Oregon game, that crazy interception he caught where, like, he just turns around, the ball's right there, and he's fully extended. And, like, that wasn't the first time he did that. Like, he done that, I want to say, against Clemson too. Like,
I saw that.
He has an eye for the ball, and he's going to go get it. Like, you're not going to beat him deep. He can keep everything in front of him. But like I said, the only thing I worry about with him is coverage. But as far as like a safety, like, you can fix that. Like, he can be Cam Chancellor. He doesn't have the size, but he can be Cam Chancellor. And to be honest, if you got him back here, I think that makes Chris Smith better. Because they play well beside each other.
Did they? Okay, see, that's another one. See, that's another one right there. And see, maybe it's the PTSD, because me personally, bro, I really did like Chris Smith coming out. I felt he was a good prospect, bro. I felt he was nice. I felt like he could have turned into something solid. Like how Palomar has came in and, like, he didn't get that much reps, but when he came in, you're like, all right, yeah, this dude can be a guy, right? Like, he can be a starter. But I feel like Chris, he ain't getting that tick. He ain't getting that shot. I don't know what the coaching staff is not seeing with Chris, but do you feel like there's a clear gap between Starks and Smith?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Okay.
Chris Smith, like I said, he was a great safety, man, but Malachi was elite. He was elite for us back there, man. Like I said, it was just his ball hawk ability. He was always where the ball was.
And that's what I like, bro. And see, people get mad when I say it, but honestly, when I'm looking at my safeties, and you can't get it all the time, but I like when my safeties have the ability to be around the football. just around the football. So that don't mean you got to intercept the shit and have be Ed Reed and all the extra shit. But I'm talking about just impact the ball, get your hands on it, knock the shit down, do all these things, bro. Like it's like sometimes with Trayvon, there's not enough plays on the football. You feel me? And it's like I like it. Sometimes he's steady, but now I want plays. We got to make. Well, how many times, bro, have we seen Trayvon maybe get close to an interception, maybe get the interception, don't get it, then these motherfuckers convert the next play because he didn't get the interception, bro. How many times have we seen that shit?
Plenty, bro. I'll tell you what I'm used to seeing with him.
I can't keep watching that. Like it's like we gotta go ahead.
What I'm used to seeing with him is when, like you said, they make the catch and then he swipes after they done caught the ball and he's like, you caught it. Like he didn't caught the ball and ran out of bounds and he's swiping at the ball. Like, why weren't you doing that before the ball got there? That's what you see from him. Bro.
That's what I'm like. I like Trey, but it's like we like him a lot more now because we changed the position. We said, all right, bro, you got to go closer to the line of scrimmage. You got to start taking on the O-lineman and shit. Like he wasn't doing that before this season, bro. Before this season, a lot of people were like, I'm all right on Trayvon. Like it is so 50-50. There's a lot of 50-50 before this. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah, man. It's if I would love to bring him back, because like you said, man, seeing him take on a guard face up, that convinced me a lot right there, man.
Boom. And so, bam, we back, right? Had a little difficulties, but we back to the conversation. Okay, so we talked about all these Georgia prospects, right? We put the spotlight on them. Anybody else that you kind of want to highlight that didn't make our little list right here that you might want to highlight before we get on out of here?
My man Tate Ratledge, bro. Gotta have. If we could get him, that's definitely another trade back. I wouldn't want to pick him at 6, but putting him beside JPJ and Meredith, man.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Like if you get a chance, there's one play in it's the Tennessee game. An end comes on a stunt, and like he just like picks him up and just like tosses him. Okay. Something that you see from JPJ, like he's a mauler in the run game. In pass protection, he does this thing. Sometimes those stronger, like if he had to go up against Chris Jones, just like anybody else, he's going to get pushed back. He can anchor, right, but he's going to get pushed back. But as far as the run game, he's the reason why Zamir White and Trevor Etienne is getting those holes how they were getting, because
no more.
Footwork.
Hey, bro, and I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Watching the combine, the mullet sold me. The mullet, I like when my offensive lineman got that look. I ain't gonna lie, bro. When he got that mullet flowing, I said, yeah, that might be the pick right there, dog. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm definitely hopping into the tape more. But you said the Tennessee game, got to see that. What else do we got to check out as far as because this right here, bro? This screams late round, grab him, plug and play type shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's going to be ready to go. I mean, he got hurt this year. And came back and played like in the last 3 games. And like, even though he was hurt, he still was on the sideline suited up where he could have played if need be. So, but you still, man, you've seen the difference in the run game when he came back in, okay. And so he's one of those ones, man, that if we can sneak back in the first round and grab him, I would love to do it. I would love to do it.
See, yeah, this is, bro. I'm some way, shape, or form. The offensive line does need to get some upgrade to it, some juice through this draft. I think so. So I think like getting some more nastiness never hurt. Getting it on the offensive line, just get somebody with the mindset. You feel what I'm saying? Like that, just 5 all JPJs is what we need. 5 JPJs.
Yeah.
Real talk, facts, bro. Just killing people. That's what we want, man. But man, this has been a great episode, dog. We coming up on 40 minutes, but this has been a great episode, bro. I feel like, we gave the people some information that maybe not a lot of people are talking about, man. Because I know we talk about the Mason Grahams, the McMillians, the Genties, even I talk about Shador to a point, but some other prospects that maybe we can highlight, look at, and if the Raiders were to trade back, have some people understand like these. it's not just all those names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we get these are some guys. If we get these guys, we can be happy with what we selected.
Oh yeah, and two more is I will say is Smile Munden.
Okay.
And Dan Jackson.
Dan Jackson. Okay.
Dan Jackson.
What's their position?
Dan Jackson's a safety. Smile Munden's a linebacker.
Okay.
And they're both in the draft this year. Dan Jackson kind of reminds me of Blankenship from Philly.
Blankenship. Got you. So I'll check him out. I think he had like a high number of tackles or some shit like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta check him out, bro. I gotta check him out. I know Smile Munden a little bit, so I'll check him because we definitely need to check in on the linebackers, regardless of
Ingram Dawkins.
Ingram Dawkins. Okay. Ingram Dawkins. See, look at all them Georgia players in there, man. I would just be churning them out. I think sometimes we just gotta fuck around and take some, man. But anything you want to tell the people, man? You getting some podcast stuff started? You got anything that's you might want to get started? You might want to tell the people before we get on out of here.
Oh yeah, man. Look, just keep rocking with me on Twitter, man, and keep I'm gonna keep rocking with y'all until I really figure this thing out. Once I figure it out, man, I'm gonna get the channel up and going and stuff, man. I want everybody to come rock with me. I'm gonna pull up on everybody's shows, man. I'm gonna still pull up, but just rock with me on Twitter and everything, man. I'm gonna keep rocking with y'all, tuning in to every episode, man. And once again, I appreciate the opportunity to get on here and chop it up with you, bro.
Nah, of course, bro. This was a fun episode. What's the Twitter so they can find you? What's the name of Twitter so they can find you?
Oh, it's at Trey Majors. At Trey Majors on Twitter, man.
Bro. At Trey Majors on Twitter, man. As you can hear, man. I'm gonna put the at and all that in the description, not for everybody to see as well. But you already know, man. Make sure you guys are tapping on the like button. Go follow my man on X if you're looking for some more just Raider conversation, some more dope takes, man. Or if you're a Georgia fan, go ahead, man. Go build that community over there. But for sure, bro, appreciate you for pulling up. Of course, giving a different perspective as we do here on the Rundown, man. As always, man, y'all already know what I say. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, keep the notifications on, man. You know what it is, bro. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. We're going to see you next episode. Peace.
I need a bad bitch with an accent. Serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young cash app. Moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head. Ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids. So who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?